And good Saturday, October 3rd, 2020 to everyone. I'm glad you're here. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. I'm not watching myself on the stream, but I am watching the comments. So let me know in the comments. And if you're here, also, please make sure you give the video a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know you're interested in the channel. So Mac Telecom Networks can hear me. Sean Woods is here. Mike, Quick Tech, everybody's here. This is awesome. So we've got a little bit to talk about. We've got just a little bit of time to do it because we added a new addition to the family, a little silver lab, and we have a vet appointment, our first vet appointment this morning. So we've got to go do that. But there are a few things that I do want to cover in this. And if you've got questions along the way, make sure you're putting those in the chat. So as you can see, the title this morning is UniFi 6.x, UniFi Access, and FANVIL speaker. So while I am a Grandstream certified expert and a Grandstream certified trainer, and there are very few of us in North America. The last I knew, there were 5 of us who were Grandstream certified experts in North America. Microcom Technologies is here. I don't know which part of the crew that is, but we do have a partnership with Microcom Technologies. So if you've ordered Grandstream gear or other networking gear, there's a good chance that we put you over to Microcom for that, because you can actually, the way that we work is we never make money off of the sale of hardware. There is one exclusion to that, and it's if you've ordered a higher end Synology, and I've been able to get you special pricing through Synology and through distribution, then we do make a sliver on that for our time. But it is not a lot. So, but as far as like all the Grandstream hardware, FANVIL hardware, Yealink, Grandstream networking gear, UniFi, all that, depending on how big of an order you have, I usually put you over to my contacts over at Microcom. So and they've been very good to us. All the pictures, if you've watched on social media, we've done phone systems as small as one handset, but at this point we've got some Grandstream systems that are several hundred handsets. I'm waiting to hear back from a school district. I'm pretty excited. The Grandstream solution scales really well. I'm going to be doing some more videos on it. I literally have a list of videos as long as my arm. I got to get through these Synology videos because I told them that I would do that. And some of the other hardware that you've seen, like the Almox PoE switch, I'm going to feature those in a Grandstream video. But yeah, so real quick, if you are interested in Grandstream and you're watching the live stream, I've had several people ask me about becoming a Grandstream certified professional, and that is something that we can actually do. Now, we have to do the training in person, and because it's a hands-on training, right? So you have a phone system, you have phones. We run you through the course, and then I proctor the exam on site. So if you're interested in Grandstream, what we're thinking about doing is in December, we're thinking about having a few certifications. We're thinking about doing the entry level certification and then the professional certification. We would split it up over 2 days, and then there would be some other training in there as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. Shoot me an email, fill out the contact form over at Willie Howe. So the MacCom it's been a long week, sorry. Mac Telecom Networks asks, can you do it in person and virtual? No, the rules for the certification with Grandstream do not allow me to do the professional certification virtually. We can do like the associate, the beginner one virtually. And it's I don't know, we could probably set that up if we've got enough interest, and that's actually not the associate or the beginning certification is not something we actually charge for teaching. So if I get enough people that are interested, we could do like a private live stream or something like that, or do a Zoom or some sort of whatever. But if people are definitely interested in getting those certifications through Grandstream, let me know, and we're going to put something together. So the logistics of getting people, to Peoria, making sure we've got a place to train and all that, you got to have some lead time on it. So I thought about building a building here at the house. And because there's a lot of things, my accountant told me there's a lot of things that we can take 100% write-off this year because of some of the tax laws. I listen to her. I just do what she tells me. And if you're starting a business, you're running a business, you should get a good accountant. Don't listen to me for tax advice. Get a CPA, get a good accountant, and somebody that if you have questions, or you have to go in front of the IRS or whatever, get somebody that will stand with you and help you out. Very important to have a professional. I don't even pretend to understand. I literally, she probably gets tired of my emails and my calls like, hey, what can we do? What do we do? How do I do this? Get yourself a good accountant. But anyway, she told me that if I build a building for training, so it would have been like maybe like a 20 by 40 building, and we'd have put a lab in there and everything. I don't get to write it off in the first year. I have to depreciate that, and then it makes my property taxes go up. And if you know anything about the state of Illinois, we pay plenty of taxes here. So I'm not looking to specifically increase that burden. So, let's see, back to the comments. John says, ripped out a few Mitels and put in the UCM 6208s. Love it. Client loves it. Yeah, I've got a 6208 install in the morning, a 15 handset system here locally. I'm quoting another system later today for a countertop company here in the area. I think it's probably going to be 4 handsets or whatever, but what we're seeing is all those Toshiba systems that have been hanging out there, now they're starting to have issues, and so we are running into a lot of the Toshiba stuff. 2 out of the last 3 here locally have been Toshiba, and we're going to get rid of that Toshiba stuff and put something that's going to work in. So, and definitely Grandstream fits the bill on that. Let's see. So Michael Andrews asks, been watching your YouTube for ages now. Do you post regularly on Reddit about UniFi too? So Michael Andrews, I will browse Reddit. There are a few things, security related things and higher end networking things that I watch on there. I don't watch the UniFi page. I feel that it's about as welcoming with the moderators that they have as the community is now, right? I don't hang out there. If you look me up as a user on Reddit, it's just Willie Howe. And I got that so literally nobody else would take it, because people like to be funny. And I think I've responded once. Somebody posted a video of mine, and I was like, oh, thanks, But people have said some real shitty stuff about me out there on Reddit. And, when you're on social media, when you're trying to run a company, it's this weird dichotomy. Like, people are used to getting a certain amount of stuff free from you. And you can ask any content creator, none of this is free. And at some point, there has to be some sort of a break-even point. You can't go into debt just giving away everything. So occasionally when you try to do something salesy, it really pisses people off. Like I did a video for, if you need Synology surveillance station licenses, I will guarantee you that we'll be the cheapest, right? And there's a comment on that video, and the Synology's says that, it looks like I'm lying and I'm dead and they don't know why I'm doing this. And I mean, this comment, I looked at that, I was like, shit, maybe I should just give up the YouTubes. And I was like, no, I'm not going to let one comment like that. But the comment is horrific. It's yeah. And that's what it is. When you're out and you're putting yourself out here, you're totally vulnerable. You got to have thick skin. That's what it is. So, no, I will not be doing any videos on tax law. There are some things that I do understand, like how to trademark, your logo and copyright things. So those are things that we're going to go over. I know how to form a business and things like that. So those are things we can talk about. But something like tax law, I have friends who are like, oh man, I got to pay the IRS. And I'm like, dude, why don't you just, you're going to have to pay this, right? Why get on a payment plan with the IRS? Just pay them. Don't mess with the IRS. Let's see. Yeah, somebody says, I hate all Toshiba stuff. Avoided products for years after they failed to honor written warranty on laptops. So the thing about Toshiba is now, they ended up being part of the Mitel family. You can't really get new parts unless a dealer had them in stock. And the only place that we have found that can work on some of the systems that we maintain is a place out of South Dakota. It's a minimum of $160 an hour. And they're going to be able to charge more than that as people try to keep these Toshiba systems on life support instead of just replacing them. So, yeah, I do have to take the bad with the good on social media, and Mac Telecom can probably attest to, and Sean is kind of got a foot in this world. People will say things to you on social media they'll never say to your face. So the keyboard, the anonymity of a computer emboldens people sometimes. Sometimes that's not bad, But let's take a look at UniFi. Let's take a look at UniFi 6.0.24 real quick over here. I want to thank Lenovo. I'm running this ad a little bit longer than I was supposed to or had to keep this streaming PC because I really appreciate Lenovo. They didn't know who I was, and I'm, in this world, I'm still really just a guppy in an ocean. And, they took a chance, and my friend Bob, and they sent me this streaming PC. So thanks to Lenovo. All right. And so let's talk about UniFi 6.0.24. They have rushed out a ton of updates over the last couple weeks. And I don't think I'm still at a place where I am going to be recommending 6.0.24. And I've literally been talking to people. I've had a dozen conversations over the last 2 weeks, and most of them in a rollback, right? I mean, they made a lot of changes, there's a change log, but I mean, how many people read that? So they are still the same known issue. VLANs beyond UAP wireless downlinks may not have connectivity. I will tell you that really hurt us on a couple of VoIP installations. And if you're one of those folks that may do public Wi-Fi where you split the system with VLANs, this could also affect you. But for us, being able to backfeed VoIP VLANs out to another router, this really did this hurt. So here's what I love, right? Let's talk about where Ubiquiti is as a company. Now, if I was the CEO, who knows where I would be, right? But the thing is, the people made them, and we supposedly multi-WAN IPs are coming to the UniFi line. I'll believe that when I see it. But let's take a look at this. So, like, improvements. Add hotspot intro video. So we are, to me, that says we don't care about real features that our users have been asking for. We're just going to throw some marketing garbage in here because that's more important than fixing issues, than providing real features that people need to deploy these on a larger scale. So what they've done is they've painted themselves into a corner. You've heard, if you watched Chris's live stream yesterday, you've heard Tom say it. Nobody is really recommending the USG line of firewalls anymore. Now, we will occasionally recommend it. More than likely, if you're coming to us to work on the UniFi stuff, you've already got the USG. So, and Sean says that the multi-WAN is targeted to the UDM only at this point. I'm sure it'll go to other devices as well, but it'll probably be a garbage fire when it first gets released. Who knows? Maybe they're going to build it and they're just going to release it right, with no testing. I mean, I have no idea. Sean and I are kind of at a loss for. Sean and I talk a lot, and, we do a lot of QA testing and a lot of beta testing and stuff like that. And I just don't know where their mind is. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. This might be where their mind is. So this is UniFi Access. I'm super torn on this. Super torn. I am going to do a video on it, and I'm like everybody else who's received this. Thanks, Ubiquiti, for sending this out. I have ordered some other things from Amazon, some door locks and things like that. So here's, if you've been following me for a while, these vendors, Ubiquiti, Grandstream, Synology, they have a real dual-edged sword, right? The barrier to entry very low into these ecosystems, and that is also that dual-edged sword that I always talk about, right? The products work for the most part. Now I'm talking about UniFi, right? So the products work for the most part, do mostly what's advertised, and they're very inexpensive. So people buy them, and this is, they deploy them, and then they want them to do something that you can't do in the UI, and then they reach out, and they're like, can you do a JSON file? I'm like, I don't touch JSON file. There's this whole thing, right? So with networking gear, there's a lot of human logistics that don't get touched necessarily. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about when Ubiquiti decided to get into an entirely different market. I don't know how much research they did, because there are state laws, there are union issues, there are all kinds of things when it comes to installing like access control systems. You are now in a life safety situation. And with the track record the company's had just over the last 2 weeks, I don't know how many people want to depend on Ubiquiti to allow them to open their doors. Plus, like in the state of Illinois, to do life safety, low voltage alarm stuff and access control and all that kind of stuff, you're supposed to be licensed, right? And then depending on where you're at, if you're non-union and you're installing this kind of stuff, you could have all kinds of issues. Now, I try to avoid the union issues, so I work with folks who can handle all of that for me. But I don't know that this was completely thought out. We're definitely going to give it a test so we can see what the hardware looks like and how it functions with the UDM Pro. But we've got no real clear target audience. I don't think you're really going to install this in a house. I am. I'm going to install it on a back door because that's what I've got. But I don't think a small business owner is going to be deploying this. There's no official training on this. There's no official training about how doors have to be wired. How does the ADA, so the Americans with Disabilities Act, how does all of that come into play when you're doing building access controls, right? So we just created this because the fanboys will buy it. People that are so heavily invested they can't admit that they're wrong about deploying every type of service that Ubiquiti comes out with will buy this, right? So maybe they'll sell 1 million units, and then they'll, that's not, the juice isn't going to be worth the squeeze, and then you're going to have a discontinued door access system. I personally will not be probably pushing these. Now, they could, something could come out, and they could have all this wonderful documentation and ease all of my fears and worries about this. But, I don't know what Ubiquiti's doing. I really don't. I don't know. Instead of making our routers and our switches awesome and really compete in a really competitive market, we have buggy firmware and software and all of these issues, and then we come out with access control. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but the other thing that everybody has brought up is that, they say that this is super inexpensive. Yeah, and this kit's like $499, but you have to have a UDM Pro. You have to have all of the, you have to do all of the wiring. It's not just $499 and you put this on and you get going. I don't think they understand this market. There's a lot of players who have been in the access control market for a long time. Some of them in the same niche as Ubiquiti. Grandstream, we use that all the time. It works really well. But they don't try to be the whole shebang. They are a very small piece of that. And they understand like how you have to hook into doors and the safety, like that if a controller fails, you have to be able to open the door from the inside, like all kinds of stuff that I can guarantee you Ubiquiti has not thought about. So we are going to take a look at it, but it'll really surprise me if a bunch of people go out and, I know a bunch of people are going to go out and they're going to buy this. They're not going to understand how to install it. The forum's going to be flooded with questions that are never going to be answered. I just don't know what's going on with Ubiquiti right now. And if Spencer's my media contact over there. Spencer, if you're watching, we probably need to have a phone call, a touch base, because I am super confused. Or Robert Parra can call me himself. I doubt that's going to happen, but he could. But we really need to talk about this. There are other bits of gear that Ubiquiti makes that works awesome that we can still recommend. This, I just don't know, man. I'm at a loss. All right, let's go to the comments real quick. Hey, Austin's here. We've been helping Austin with some Grandstream stuff. I'm going to have a call with him later this week. Let's see. Sean says, my fear with their new venture gear is they drop support within 2 to 4 years. Yeah, there are access control companies such as Axis who support products for decades. So, let's see. Ubiquiti will probably discontinue. Yeah, if it doesn't sell, they will discontinue it, and then you're going to have a bunch of these installed and no support. And it's going to be on your network. So then it becomes, so now your doors, if they're not getting proper security updates, have just become another piece in the security puzzle. What a mess. Now, Unky Joe says he's selling his UDM Pro. And Sean has been pinging me with Cisco stuff. I need to reach out to my rep, Sean, and pass some of this stuff along. But yeah, Sean replaced his UDM Pro with a Cisco RV340. And if you look on the channel, we've got some Cisco videos. I need to do some more. But Mac Telecom Network says he'll be installing it and putting it on my office door. Just need to figure out the cabling. Well, good luck. I know you're just starting your channel, and you and I have tried to communicate a little bit. And, I know you're heavy into the Ubiquiti content, but you'll notice that a lot of us who were super heavy in Ubiquiti have started to diversify, and I think that would be a good idea. And Mac Telecom Networks, dude, you're going to get tons of views when you post that video, tons of views. But I've really started thinking about the videos and the products that I represent. And it used to be that if I just didn't like a product, or I had maybe a negative view, that I wouldn't even do a video on it. But I really think that I'm at a place now where people need to really understand how I actually feel about some of these products, which is why I wanted to talk about UniFi Access. Like I said, I think Ubiquiti does a lot of stuff really well. Access, are you gonna install an access control system where you can't get real support? I mean, Ubiquiti support is not, you have a problem with your building, just like LED lights. You're going to put lighting in your building that you can't call, an engineer and get support on. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, and that's right. He says views are great, but he needs to like the product. That's absolutely right. So, D. Kaufman says, don't use UBNT for access. Use a true access control system. Yes, I do believe that to be a true statement. Yeah, so Nathan says he has good luck with the air fiber line. I love the air fiber line. And then their actual fiber GPON products is absolutely awesome. So, I've helped a couple ISPs that are running the GPON stuff. All right, so let's talk a little bit about IP speakers, right? And somebody says that you can get real support from other poor SOB users like yourself. Now, so that may be true that you can get support from me, but I have to support the product before you can get it. That support from me. I would be willing that I'm going to support this like I support JSON files. We'll see. We'll see. They sent it to me for free, so I got to give it a fair shake, but you already know some of my thoughts on that. So look at this guy. This is the Fanville Iw30. I bought this myself. I'm working on a couple projects, and I need network-based audio. And so on the back, you can see it's got LAN, WAN, it's got DC power in there. This is a really interesting device, and Fanville is a really interesting company. To me, they seem to kind of have come out of nowhere with some of this stuff. And Axis is king. I have an Axis speaker. Yeah, Austin was the guy that emailed me. He was like, hey, and yeah, Austin's got his speakers. I have an Axis speaker over on there, and I'm actually going to do a video comparing the two of these, because this is like half of the size of the Axis system. It was also half of the price. So I want to see how this sounds. It actually, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but there's a, I guess you would consider that the sub, and then over here is your mid, and then a tweeter over here. You know, it's got the potential to be a boomer. It's got the potential to be a boomer, so we're going to see about this. But when I found this, I was like, huh, yeah, I like the FANVIL phone, so let's give this a shot. I think I paid $229 for this with shipping. Ordered it last week. It got here yesterday. So I'm pretty excited about that. I do have some OpenSense videos coming. So, you know, I'm not going to rewire a building to run 70-volt systems. So somebody's like, why don't you just use a traditional system? I'm not in the business of running cabling to do the 70-volt system. Because where we're using these, it's not like it's a theater. It's not like it's, you know, like a production. You know, it's going to be office spaces and things like that. So, Isaac, that is the Fanville Iw30. So yeah, D. Kaufman, Axis is awesome. I am 100% into the Axis ecosystem. You know, we do people counting, we do all kinds of stuff, but it's not always cost effective for some of the things, which is why we do use some other brands. However, I will tell you that as far as audio interfaces for the network, I think Axis is king. Although I have to give this Iw30 a chance and see what's happening, Captain, right? So, but we are going to be doing some OpenSense stuff. If you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you saw that I posted you know what? Let me grab it real quick. Hold tight. Here, you want to read the UniFi controller stuff real quick while I grab this? I'll be right back. All right, here we go. So this is the Protectly. This is the 4-port, and if you go down to the description of this video, you're going to see a link. So I partner with Protectly to save you some money. I don't make any money off of this hardware when you buy it, but it does come preloaded with a configuration that I configured, so that if you call me then for support or to help you set this up, I already know the IP addresses. Now the username I know, but the password, I have it set up so it automatically makes you change the password when you log in. So I will not know the password. But this, believe it or not, this video and this picture have kind of gone crazy on social media. But what I did was I wanted, you know, when I do the video, I wanted a little pop on this this OpenSense firewall, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy some paint pens, and we're going to just paint the top of the fins. And I will tell you, I've been running it to make sure that it does not affect the heat, and this thing runs like a top, really. So you can see I've got the TI 568B cable standard on there. I thought that was kind of fun, you know. Sometimes we got to have a little fun, you know. And I will, like I said, be doing a video on that so you know what all comes with the kit. But it is the Willie House special. There are 2 of them, and a video coming soon on that. But yeah, I love OpenSense running on these Protectly boxes. It's fantastic. So are there any more questions? Because I think I need to start wrapping this up. 40 people watching and only 9 thumbs ups. Yeah, I am going to try to guilt you into those thumbs up. So if you like the content, come on, give me a thumbs up, would you? And I don't know where we're at here. Somebody says I completely screwed up the thermal efficiency. No, I didn't. I've been testing it. I've been shooting it with the FLIR, and these things don't really get put under enough stress to cause any damage to that. Oh, you're just kidding. Gotcha. But yeah, if you are interested in that, the links are down below. Amazon affiliate links are down there. But I want to thank all of you for taking a little time out of your Saturday morning. Oh, so Isaac says, I need to buy a couple Synology licenses. Can I get them through you? So Isaac, let me talk about that real quick. What Synology has asked us to do is we were selling to international customers as well. And Synology has asked us to not do that, to help them find a local partner. So if you're not in the US or Canada, this is going to work a little bit different. However, if you just need 2 licenses, I'm going to tell you that right now my distributor, I'm switching distributors because there's some things I'm not happy about. And one of them is on a single pack. So on a 1 license, I get charged a $2 handling fee and a $10 shipping charge, right? So I can't compete with Amazon on that. So if you're just needing 2 licenses, just go to my Amazon affiliate store, and you can, you don't have to go to my Amazon affiliate store, but if you can go through my Amazon affiliate store and buy those direct from Amazon. On 2 licenses, Amazon kills me. Just like, believe it or not, Amazon hardware on the Synology, they can sell you stuff cheaper than I can buy it from distribution because somebody's buying in such large quantities. So Unky Joe, if you need 6 licenses, that I can definitely help you with. So if you go over to willyhow.com, if you're not presented with the pop-up to go to the form, you can scroll down. There's a place you click on the form, you fill out the form, and then I send it over to Synology. We lock in the special pricing, and then I invoice you. And so it does take them a few days to turn that special pricing around. But so, yeah, thanks again, everybody, for being here. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm Willie. Thanks for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.